If you're like me, you have probably wondered whether bows are actually viable in Elden Ring, and you have probably come across mixed opinions. Some say they're pretty broken early game, and others, yeah. So I decided to see if they really suck. So, can I beat Elden Ring, including the DLC, in under 24 hours using only bows? Let's see. I selected the Samurai class and the Lance Between Rune as my keepsake. The Samurai class has a bow and arrows for me to use. Since I only have limited arrows in the early game, they are going to become very handy. So I fall to my death and then head straight to Calais. I buy the crafting kit and the cookbook for bow and arrows, both very important for later in the run. I go to Melina and get the gold of Elden Ring. After getting Torrent, I went to the closest merchant to buy myself the short bow. If you didn't know, there are 3 types of bows in Elden Ring: light bows, and great bows. All of them have your individual strengths. The light bows in particular have a unique moveset in which you can roll shoot, jump shoot and land shoot, which lets you inflict absurd amount of damage in a short time. Unlike the other bow types, the light bows can be used to always shoot between enemy attacks without getting hit mid-animation. There are also some bows who have the same moveset of a light bow, but I cannot get them now. Because of that, I will focus only on light bows and bows with similar movesets. After getting the short bow, I head to the High Road Cave to get the blue dancer charm. But before heading to Margit, I need to talk about the problem with a bow only run. As I said earlier, you only have limited amount of arrows in the early game. You can buy arrows from Calais, but at the start you don't have that many runes to begin with. So I need to find a way to farm a lot of runes. And if you have played Elden Ring, we both know which farming method I'm talking about. The bird farm. I can only farm the bird in Morgrim Palace, and the fastest way to get there is via Vardis questline. Therefore, I need to defeat Godric, go to Leonia, finish Vardis questline, and get the Poor Blood Knight's medal to teleport to Morg. Now it is time to bring down Margit. So I upgraded my short bow to +3 with smithing stones that I picked up earlier, bought some arrows from Calais, and started the boss battle. Oh, that was so close, man. That was much closer than I wanted it to be. And death means restarting from the beginning, since I only have limited amount of arrows. After getting my second talisman slot, my plan was to head to Calais for the arrow sting talisman, which increases my arrow strength by 10%. But before that, I went to Fort High to get the cookbook for Bloodborne arrows. Bloodborne arrows are one of the key factors in the run because it inflicts blood loss on a lot of bosses. I picked up the Secretary Flask and went into the portal to Dragonbarrow. Here I got easy runes from the Night Cavalry cheese. Here I got easy runes from the Night Cavalry cheese. I leveled my character to level 22 and also picked up some Smithing Stone 8 and 9 on my way. I also activated the grace next to the isolated merchant and bought some serpent arrows for the Godric boss fight. There are 3 arrow types that you can get relatively easy: normal arrows, serpent arrows and bloodborne arrows. In fact, there are also scarlet rod arrows and freezing arrows, but they are very hard to farm, so I didn't consider them at all in my bow run. When I arrived at the Great Bridge, I activated the grace and made quick work of those guys guarding the ladder. This and many other reasons are why I love using bow. Look at how effectively I killed those enemies. Normally they would annoy me so much. After picking up the Arrow Sting Talisman, I am ready to face Godric. I went through the main gate of the castle and got pretty lucky. I mean, watch it for yourself. Oh, that was... what? What? I'm so lucky. Just in case I die. I really don't know how I didn't get hit here. You mother... Finally I arrived at Godric. I started his boss battle, and while I fought Godric, I realized how bows actually trivialize some boss battles. I only had 1 or 2 attacks where I really needed to be careful. For example, his wind attack that you need to dodge precisely. All of his other attacks are not a threat since I could keep my distance. I also utilized one of my main strategies against bosses. Inflict poison damage and then switch to arrows to finish the boss. His second phase was a little bit of a problem, but he was pretty easy to defeat since many times he just walked towards me. Now I can finally make my way to Morgwind Palace. Arriving in Morgwind Palace, I immediately head to my farming spot, so the farming begins. When I had 1 million runes, I leveled up my character to level 69 and went to buy the maximum amount of arrows. I also defeated the Bell-Bearing Hunter to get the Bell-Bearing for Finn B-Spot. Afterwards, I also bought the Serpent-Born arrows. Nope. That was scary. Earlier, I picked up the cookbook for Bloodborne arrows. To craft them, you need both blood roses, you can buy them from the merchant in Morgwind Palace, and Finn B-Spawns, which I could buy now from the Twin Maiden house. With this, I have now all of my strongest arrows. Arrows, poison arrows, and bleeding arrows. So even though I'm pretty confident now in facing Consort Radahn, I wanted to get a little bit stronger.
One eternity later.
I reached level 95 and now head to the
Radahn Festival! Champions, prepare for battle!
I thought I was 2 hour leveled for the fight, but it was pretty close at the end. I truly don't know how I survived that attack. I also realized how broken poison and bleeding arrows are. They literally melted through Radahn. With the second shard bearer done, I have finally access to Lindel and to my endgame bow weapon, the Black Bow. With the black bow in my hand, I felt like Thanos equipping the Infinity Gauntlet. There's a reason why I chose not to upgrade my short bow higher than +4. Besides that smithing stones are a pain in the ass to farm, the black bow completely outscales the light bows. It has the power and range of a normal bow, that means way more damage per arrow shot, but it also acts like a light bow, so I can jump shoot, land shoot and raw shoot with way more damage and range. I went to the road table hall to get the talisman pouch from Enya, and then made sure to upgrade my black bow. For now, I can only upgrade my black bow to +6, but it is sufficient for Morgoth. But before that, I decided to pick up my third talisman for increased range on my arrows. I also picked up the spear talisman to equip it after the Goldfrey fight. Now I am making my way to Morgoth. And while I was on my way, this piece of shit decided to push me off the tree. I defeated Goldfrey pretty easily. And even though the fight went over pretty quickly, I mean, look at my damage, it was so enjoyable since the fight felt so dynamic. Then I faced Morgoth, but as I said earlier, the black bow is pretty broken and made quick work of Morgoth. Like in the Radahn fight, I used poison and bleeding to my advantage, and Morgoth was no opponent for me. For now, the bow run seems pretty easy, but I knew it will get way harder.
Never in my life I have seen this attack!
So I make my way to the mountaintops of the giants. Since I can pick up the Summer Swimming Stone 7 here and get the 10 from Mog's Palace, I upgrade my bow to +10 and immediately head to the Fire Giant. And to be honest, I was kinda scared of the Fire Giant. He has the highest health from all bosses in the base game and he was kinda resistant to status effects. But my bow is +10 and I know it deals good amount of damage. And he has 0 armor, so I should be able to handle him.
What? What is this attack?
Okay, so the Fire Giant was actually easy. He took long, but in the end was no challenge. I really hope it stays like that.
How?
I said goodbye to my beautiful wife. Now it's time to face the Black Blade. Ha! You get the pun? No? Okay. But before facing him, I need to fight the God Skandur, and I must say with bows it was one of the easiest fights that I ever had. So strange, because every time I fought them before, I wanted to jump off a cliff, so yeah, I take that W. The way to Malikav is pretty easy, but on the way I forgot to activate Disgrace, and then I died on the way, so I needed to start again from here. Yeah, no fun at all. At last, I have arrived at Malikav, the Black Blade. After defeating Malikav, we get teleported to Lindel. And I must say, the next boss, Gideon the Ore Spammer, was the most annoying boss ever.
Hey!
I have died more times against him than in my entire bow run. He dodges my arrows and bombards me with a million spells. Not a fun experience at all. And when I finally beat him, I only had 13 HP left. And now we face the boss that I was most excited for, Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Now my biggest obstacle begins, Radahn and Elden Beast. I know that I'm too weak right now, but I wanted to give it a try. If you didn't know, Radahn has the ability to parry my arrow shots and counter me immediately, but he only does that when I'm far away from him. So me keeping distance is not possible. So it will be a close combat battle. As expected, I died many times over, and slowly my body got used to the fight. But I was too tired, so I called it a day. The next day, I started immediately with farming so I can level up dexterity and strength for higher damage. By the way, if you didn't notice, I didn't use buffs like Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Bow at all in my bow run. I wanted to see how good only bows are. I also will not level past level 150 in the run. And while I was here farming, I was thinking, oh, I could kill Moke for easy 500k runes. So yeah, I did that. Only the second phase was tricky, but Moke is pretty easy to defeat when you can attack him from afar. With killing him, I have also now access to the DLC. But before starting the DLC, I need to defeat Radahn. With reaching level 137, I was strong enough now. No way. No! I defeated them before the 6-hour mark. And whoever said that bows suck, no, they don't. I also have so much fun, and it makes fights like the Radahn one feel so unique. If you never tried a bow run, I recommend you doing one. Now I have 18 hours left to defeat Consort Radahn, and I know I need every single hour. Since I defeated Moke, I have immediately access to the DLC. To face Radahn, I need to defeat Mesmer. Then Romina, burn the seal tree, reach Enir Ilim, and then finally beat Leda. But to be able to defeat Radahn, I need a high Scadutree blessing. So with the help of this map, I was able to farm them easily. Therefore, before facing Relana, I leveled up my Scadutree Blessing. And you ask why Relana? Relana wasn't mentioned earlier. So yeah, I thought she was a mandatory boss, so I fought her. I'm not the smartest. With reaching Scadutree Blessing 5, I felt pretty confident. Relana was a little bit tricky though. If I kept her at long distance, she was no danger. But some attacks I still needed to respect. With the second phase, she also started to leap at me. But she was no danger as long as I am careful. And the good thing about both is I was safe from her twin moons. But one can argue that this is a bad thing. If you know, you know. With Relana defeated, I head now to the Shadow Keep. I activated the Grace in front of the Golden Hippo, but before facing it, I wanted my last talisman. The Arrow Soaring Sting Talisman not only increases my range by 55%, but also my damage by 8%. With that, I have now all of my endgame talismans and my damage maximized. After picking up some more Scadutree fragments, I went back to the Golden Hippo, and after dying many times, I beat him too. And from here, I knew it will get very brutal. I only have 3 major bosses left: Mesmer, Romina and Radahn. And I only faced them one time in my original playthrough, so I had practically no experience against them. Not only that, but bows scale very bad into the late game. The Black Bow, for example, only has an attribute scaling of D. That means even though I put a lot of points into strength and dexterity, the damage I get is little to none. After passing through the Shadow Keep and the Specimen Storehouse, I reached Mesmer, and oh boy, I got completely destroyed.
I was like, he doesn't hit me, right? Wow.
So before trying him for the next few hours, I at least wanted to get a higher Scadutree Blessing, since 9 was not high enough. So I went back to farming. I reached level 12 and I came across the schedule view. And I was thinking if it is worth it to face Commander Gaius for an additional 5 Scadutree fragments that are behind this boss arena. But yeah, after dying many times, listen to it yourself.
I'm dead, yeah. Not worth it, not worth it.
I farmed the last 2 Scadutree fragments that were easily accessible and reached level 13. Since I was now 4 levels higher, I could beat Mesmer. but it was a matter of time and skill.
No! What?
Even though his first phase was a big problem for me, it was possible for me to beat his second phase very fast. After obtaining his kindling, I made my way to the seal tree. On the way, I also picked up the last schedule tree fragments and almost got burned to death. I reached Romina and I thought I would beat her in under 20 minutes, since I didn't remember her being difficult. But when I entered the boss battle, she posed a problem that never once occurred to me. Since her main body is very thin, I could not hit her properly. That means over 50% of all my arrow shots were not connecting. On top of that, she's also immune to poisoning, so bleed arrows were the only way to damage her properly. So, instead of beating her in under 20 minutes, she took me over 1 hour, and I was very close to dying at the end. I was very lucky there. With Romina defeated, I can now burn the seal tree and finally reach Radahn. It's time now. I was very careful when I passed through every enemy, especially those guys. I picked up 2 schedule tree fragments, and on the schedule tree map I saw that there was actually another one here. But after watching some guides, I realized that I walked next to it, so I went back and picked it up. Those were actually the last fragments that I could farm without fighting any additional bosses. So with the schedule tree blessing of 15, I need to defeat Consort Radahn. And looking at the timer, I felt confident in defeating him in under 24 hours. So Radahn is the only one left, right? No. I was blocked by the fog wall and forced to fight Lidder. I was not excited at all. The only good thing is that I can summon a Morgue Soldier who was the MVP of this fight. There was a problem though. Since I never interacted with the questlines, I was forced to fight Consort, Radahn and Leader. Meanwhile, I can only summon one. A 2v3 is not funny. And if you have played the bow run yourself, you know how annoying it is to hit humanoid enemies. Consort was very easy to defeat, but the problem lied on those 2 pieces of shit. After ganging up on my bro,
No!
I was left hanging in a 1v2 and it didn't end well. I changed strategy and instead of aggroing Radahn, I chose to fight Lidder and the Morgue Soldier can fight Dane since he deals way less damage. While I was kiting later, my bro came and together we destroyed her. And while she was almost close to dying, he got greedy and died. I was able to kill her, and no, he was the only one standing in front of me. So I poisoned him and then made a run for it. No one is left. Only Radahn and me. And Mikela, but let's not talk about that femboy. I also reached level 150 now. While I was looking at Radahn's weaknesses, I saw that actually he has less defense against piercing damage. All the other damage negation was around 40, meanwhile piercing was 20. On top of that, I can poison and bleed him. But even though the odds were stacked in favor of me, this battle was hard. And if you fought Consort Radahn yourself, you know how oppressive his chain attacks are. So I entered the boss battle and died immediately. After 10 minutes, I was able to enter his second phase and then again died immediately. Oh boy, the combo of Radahn plus Mikela is brutal. And it happens many times that I became too greedy. It is either me overhealing or always thinking, oh, I can get another hit. I got slowly used to the fight and improved step by step. For example, here, instead of being a dumbass and dodging to the left side, I went to the right side. But I still panic rolled like a moron sometimes. I came also so close to beating him, but I got caught by Mikela. But after dying over and over again, after 3 hours, I rage quitted. Yes, I rage quitted. After crying myself into my pillow for 15 minutes, I got a random burst of motivation and knew this time I'm gonna beat him. And after a total of 4 hours of dying, I got this run. In the end, I can say, no, bows don't suck. They have their strengths and weaknesses, and if you never did a bow run, do it. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and like. Goodbye.